You are more likely to keep a losing stock than sell it. You are more afraid of losing $20 than excited about gaining 20. You estimate your project will finish on time, even though every project you have ever done ran late. These are not personality flaws. They are features of how human minds make decisions. Classical economic theory assumed humans are rational decision-makers who maximize expected utility. Behavioral economists Daniel Kahneman and Amos Tversky dismantled this assumption with decades of experimental evidence showing that human decision-making is predictably, systematically irrational in ways that can be mapped and exploited. Kahneman and Tversky's prospect theory proposes that people evaluate outcomes not as absolute levels of wealth, but as gains or losses relative to a current reference point. The same outcome, having $1,000, feels very different depending on whether you just gained or lost money to reach it. Reference points are context-dependent and malleable. The most robust finding in prospect theory is loss aversion. The psychological pain of losing a given amount is approximately twice the pleasure of gaining the same amount. A 50-50 chance to lose $100 requires a potential gain of about $200 to feel worth taking. This asymmetry pervades financial, medical, and everyday decisions. The sunk cost fallacy causes people to continue investing in a losing course of action because of prior investment that cannot be recovered. You stay through a terrible movie because you paid for the ticket. You keep funding a failing project because of money already spent. Rational decision-making requires ignoring sunk costs. Only future costs and benefits matter. The planning fallacy is the systematic tendency to underestimate the time, cost, and risk of future projects while overestimating their benefits. The Sydney Opera House was projected to cost $7 million and be completed in 1963. It cost $100 million and opened in 1973. The best corrective is the outside view, base rates for similar past projects. Antonio Damasio's somatic marker hypothesis proposes that emotions guide decision-making by associating somatic states, bodily feelings, with outcomes from past experience. Patients with ventromedial prefrontal cortex damage make objectively poor decisions not because they reason poorly, but because they cannot access the emotional signals that normally guide choice. Richard Thaler and Cass Sunstein's nudge theory applies behavioral economics to policy. Small changes in how choices are presented, making organ donation the default, placing healthy food at eye level, requiring active opt-out rather than opt-in for retirement savings, can dramatically shift behavior without coercion or significant cost.